to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for, I feel like a broken record, but for yet again another beautiful day. We've been blessed beyond measure with the weather this fall, and I know not everybody in this country can say that, so we have so much to be thankful for when we wake up in the morning, and we just thank you for that, and we're definitely approaching what could be a difficult month for this country, Father. A lot of division in this country, and even seen locally. And that's not your heart for this country. That's not what makes this country special. And so we pray to turn our hearts toward you. You don't care whether we're one party or another. You don't care what our gender is. You don't care where we live, who we're affiliated with, who we belong to, what our last name is. It's inconsequential to you. We thank you for that. You tell us in your word that you look upon our hearts. So help us see each one as you see us, with hearts of grace and forgiveness and love and compassion. If we do that a little bit more in this community, Father, help us to do that. We will become, more importantly, not just the community that we envision, but more importantly, the one that you have a heart for. We give you all thanks and praise. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Okay, I'm going to be actually kind of doing a lot of speaking tonight because our poor Miss Amy is battling sickness, as the council I think might know from the message. So we're going to try to save as much as we can. So I will do roll call. Gary Elliott.
Here.
Bob Leahy.
Here.
Jason Brewer.
Here.
Tim Heiss.
Here.
Tito Freed.
Here.
Excellent. I trust you've had an opportunity to review the consent agenda as presented. So I would entertain a motion for approval if there are no questions or comments.
I don't have it right here in front of me. We need to make a amendment on the water claims. And where do I printed that? And then I don't. So I have the amount, and now my paper's all a mess here. And so I'm not sure. It was 35. Amy's got it here. Okay. As council members probably got from their information or text and emails that we have $35,470 that are in the water claims that need to be under the ban financing. I guess is that the proper way to say it. And so we need to accept the claims with the amendment of removing that $35,470 from the normal water account claims and put it toward in the ban financing column.
Thank you, Tim.
I didn't butcher that up too much. That's my motion.
That captures it.
I'll second.
We have a second to that motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right, consent agenda approved as presented. We have no presenters on the agenda. In terms of department reports, Halloween festivities seem, from all accounts, to go off well. Seem to go smooth. Once again, blessed with amazing weather. So I can remember taking the kids out in snow back in the day. So we were blessed with a good night. And appreciate everybody that helped make that possible. Miss, so did you help with? Okay, I just
passed out candy.
That's a help. No, that counts. That counts. It all counts. So, because I saw Livingston's up in the corner, Cleo, and I know, and his wife was dressed up. I think, from what it looked like a cow. Okay, I thought it was a peasant. So I want to make sure I get that costume right. But just that means something. That's awesome. That's community. So I appreciate that. Blood draw. There's a blood pressure. Actually, more than blood, not blood draw. Much different than my apologies. A blood pressure screening clinic. It says join our healthcare pathway students. The students will be doing a free blood pressure screening and they want you to take charge of your health. This will be November 14th, Thursday, anywhere from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in Vision Corner at Suite C. So that's upstairs. And so they'll be doing quick and easy blood pressure checks, providing educational materials on heart health, and also giving you an opportunity to check out the healthcare pathway classroom. So that will be the students in action there. Also, unfortunately, Wilson wasn't able to make it tonight, but Wilson and then our student representative for council, and also Campbell Kearns assisted a tour at Vision Corner on Friday with the board on hosting IEDC, Indiana Economic Development Corporation, tour Vision Corner, because we've made a pitch for additional funds and beyond Ready 2, and went exceptionally well, and the students acquitted themselves just amazingly. So I just wanted to give hats off to Campbell and Wilson, because it was pretty special, because Tony Denhart was the one here from Indiana Economic Development Corporation from the state of Indiana. And he took time and spent time with every student he encountered in the building, which was awesome. And he gives business cards to them. So that's quite an opportunity for students, to have that interaction. And so it was just wonderful to see. Community Christmas work days start this Saturday from 9 to noon and 1 to 4. The only reason we don't have the hour in between, people are welcome to stay, but we can't promise there'll be one of us board members there to still helping, because we'd like to go grab something to eat. But that'll be every Saturday up through the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So every Saturday moving forward is a community volunteer day for Community Christmas at Harder Park from 9 to noon in the morning, and or from 1 to 4. And I tell you what, even if you hear that, you're like, well, I can't do 1 to 4. But if you can do 2 to 2:30, that still counts. That helps. So don't think you got to stay for that's just when there's going to be people there as help to give you direction or guidance if you get any questions. But one of the biggest things is just simply staking lights, which there's 324 trees up currently, and there's about 30 more trees to go. So it's the most we've ever done. Most we've ever done before was 311. So, Amy, I'm going to offer you a drink of water and then skip you. We'll go to council members. Do you need some water?
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's right. So, I have two questions. One is that someone is asking me, and I suppose I could do the research myself, but in order to get, I think we have it in our collective memory. The question was, will we have increases in our water/sewage rates in the next 3 years? And I think we'd approved something with
Last year.
with Baker Tilly.
Yeah, last year we approved.
And so it's going to, so the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Okay, the answer is yes. Also, during the trick-or-treating, there was a question, some people were concerned about that there were lights off.
Yeah.
Do we have a solution for
Yes,
that?
we do. We do. We've already reported the ones down here on Columbia, and then we've got, so there's one, Tim made me aware on South Columbia that I'm calling on tomorrow with a Tyler Cox from I&M. If there are any other light locations, and this goes for everybody, if anybody notices a light out in the neighborhood, please call and report the location, because Tim and I were just talking about this too. I try to stress the officers on occasion, if you notice a light out, please report to us so we can get it fixed. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. In all fairness to them, I don't want them stopping to notice the lights out if they're on the way to to a call. So that's not always feasible, but I will give them a reminder nonetheless. So when they're just patrolling, at least they could take note. But yeah, please report it to us, because we don't know what we don't know.
So who should people tell?
They call the city building and just report the address. So they can call.
If they can just message me, Tito,
Yep.
via the city website, my email address, or if they call into the city building, we have to report it to AEP, I&M, and then they'll put it on a repair list. We never know when they're going to repair that takes. Sometimes they do it the next day, sometimes it takes a few weeks.
Oh,
But that's the process.
But yeah, the sooner they can report it, the better, because like Tim and I are talking too, we're blessed down Columbia Street because it's really bright. But there's other neighborhoods, one light goes out, and that makes it different.
Yep.
And like he said, South Columbia too, we've got a well-established tree line, so it makes it even tougher. But no, good heads up.
that's all I had. Thanks.
No, thank you. Tim, anything?
No.
Jason?
Nope, I don't think so.
Bob?
Nope.
Gary?
Nope.
All right. Steve, did you have anything outside of what's on the agenda?
Yes, I do. The only thing, and this is from this afternoon, ATC, Alcohol Tobacco Commission, emailed me today. Our DORA has been placed on hold because our times are not consistent across the board. So council wanted to change what Mara presented. We changed it. You guys passed the ordinance. Now the ATC will not authorize it as presented.
Excuse me. Oh, no. Sorry. Just skip over.
She's getting to you.
Yeah. So in essence, ATC is leaning toward what Mara originally proposed?
Their recommendation is, and they don't know what Mara presented, but basically they want a consistent on-off time every day of the week. And it's ultimately based on the operation hours of the businesses that would be serving to-go beverages.
Right.
So no difference between Monday and Thursday, for example.
Correct. And the reason they're saying that is because the ATC officers can't decipher what your local ordinance says, so they're not going to
Consistent for 30
pick or choose. If they come here for an evaluation, then they know what the ordinance reads, and whatever day of the week they come, that's what they expect to see.
Did they provide that feedback in writing?
Via email they did, yeah.
Can
You
you
forwarded it to
share that,
council.
please?
I can do that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
So we just need to simply make an amendment on our,
To amend the ordinance.
on our times and then send it.
Darn it. Sorry. Okay, old business, 2025 salary ordinance, 2024-10. This is the second reading. There's been no modifications. Second reading only. Do we have any questions or comments? And if not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 2024-10, fixing the salary and wages of appointed officers and employees of the city of Union City.
We have a first by Bob. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Jason. We'll do roll call vote. Gary Elliott,
Yes.
Bob Leahy,
Yes.
Jason Brewer,
Yes.
Tim Heiss,
Yes.
Tito Farias.
Yes.
We are tabling ordinance number 2024-09, which is a Title VI implementation plan for now, because we want a definitive verification from Mara, our legal attorney, that there are absolutely no modifications that need made to that before final reading. So that is tabled, so the next meeting. So the next thing I will, Eric, you want me to turn it over to you for the ambulance and equipment invoices review?
Well, I don't have anything that I didn't turn in already.
Okay,
So I'm here to answer
gotcha.
your questions. you might
Gotcha,
have from-
gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I will open up to the floor to the council to see if you have any questions for Eric regarding the ambulance and equipment invoices.
So the total loan you're wanting is the 307,000, is that right? Or is,
307, 310,
okay. Do you know what talk to the bank and you already got the payment structure? No.
no.
No, okay.
To my knowledge, I can't go get a loan at the bank. That's something y'all have to do.
Well, I just thought you might talk to them what the interest rate or what the.
No, I
for them to
haven't.
tell you
I
what
think
the
we got a
payment
bond
will be.
bank or something, Indiana bond bank, that we can get money from at a reduced amount, perhaps, but. All the rest of that, I got the cash for.
Do you have any questions or any other comments? Amy, if you would just nod your head up and down or side to side, are we looking for, well, it's this to you too, Eric, are you looking for a motion tonight or simply a review and then to put it in the vote form for next meeting?
I think I'm looking for a vote,
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so they can.
So I'm expecting that ambulance to be available at the end of next month. So however long it takes, you gotta approve it, and then you gotta sign that contract with them, and you gotta get financing in place before we take delivery of it.
Did this PennCare or whoever, did they mention anything about any type of financing packages that they have available?
Yeah, they don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, the county pursuing or has a lease agreement with some of their purchase that they're doing, but I don't know that may be on a separate, I mean, as far as that may be separate from Stryker, PennCare, I don't know how.
Those are two separate companies.
Right, I mean, that's, but they were on on heart monitors at least, and cot, I think heart monitors and cots.
Oh, yeah,
they were
Stryker
doing.
come out and gave me a really good price on cot, monitor, and then you lease it, you pay a contract for service, and you pay X dollars, and they keep replacing it every time there's a new model, and sure, but
Yeah,
you don't like that price. I don't like that price.
yeah, I kinda wondered how that was.
I mean, I
So-
could carry this cardiac monitor for 10 to probably the life of the ambulance, 16 years would
Mhm.
probably be good.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, that's what I had a question, was asking
They
me
want to
why
flip them
we,
every 5 or 6 years.
should we be pursuing the lease? And my first thought.
Maybe for the ambulance, but not the equipment.
Yeah, possibly, but I'm not sure that we do. You know, a lot of times the lease isn't necessarily, especially since you have a significant amount of money in non-reverting already. You know, a lot of time, if you were doing a lease and you didn't have any cash up front, the lease might be the way to go but it's still, you're gonna pay at the end of it, so I think the pursuit of the financing is probably our better option, so. How to structure a motion, and I walked out with all the proper paperwork, but I do have the amount to pursue financing for us that you gave us before was $307,824.84, so roughly that amount to seek financing, and then the purchase, we need to approve pursuing the purchase of the ambulance, heart monitor, and all included equipment between PennCare and Stryker. I don't know if that's
Your motion?
Amy, do
I
you have
guess,
all
yeah.
that?
I'll second.
complete enough to make a motion.
So the motion is, you're making the motion to seek financing for the
Yes.
307,
307,
84, and then also approving the
For the penny.
purchase for the balance of the invoice and stuff.
Yes.
And Bob, did you second his
Yes.
motion?
Yep.
Okay, we'll do
So
a
good.
roll call vote. Gary Elliott,
Yes.
Bob Leahy,
Yes.
Jason Brewer,
Yes.
Tim Heiss,
Yes.
Tito Frias.
Yes.
Who's seeking are you seeking, or who's doing the seeking of the
The financing.
financing? I just
Well-
Great question.
I can call a couple banks
I mean,
here to
that's-
find out what their prices are.
How we've done that.
check with PennCare. They do offer financing. check with them, because it says they've got, they work with different financial providers to get flexible.
I would check with them and the local,
Yeah.
so that way we can contrast, compare.
Yeah, they don't offer, they've
What was the
got
name
their
of
own
it?
bank.
But the authority to take that is with us, right?
Well, I get the
Yeah.
information, go and get it.
Yeah, council, yeah, you guys.
But you're the executor, like, right?
Well, the body of the city, but,
I'm guessing Chad or Amy will have to sign the actual loan
well,
document.
yeah, but I'm just saying the approval of the rate, you know, I mean, I would rather everybody see it, so you guys are in a feel-good situation with what the terms are. So new business is a review of the current facade grants, which is Stepping and Gates Barbershop. Steve, were you able to receive those? Did they deliver those to you? Or were they sent directly to Amy? Because I don't know, I'm not familiar with the stepping adjustment.
The
We'd
gates
already
is
approved that.
just for, payment, that's already done. I haven't talked to either one of them since, it's been a couple months.
Okay, I guess I was confused as to, when looking through the packet, I was trying to ascertain what exactly was being asked.
Yeah,
It looks like there's a discrepancy. There's a discrepancy in what they asked for and then what, I think that's what's Amy's, why you gave it to us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
to help me decipher exactly what.
So like on the Stephanie Inc., they did, it's 2,280 less that they paid than what, that they've written checks for than what they asked for. And so she's questioning whether or not we're going to.
I know nothing about anything to do with Stephanie.
Okay.
They don't flow any of that through me. And the ordinance is fairly clear. You guys literally pay 50% of what they submit,
Right.
so.
Well, the total they submitted was, $9,720. Is what they ended up submitting. That's what they paid, I'm sorry, that's what they actually paid. So I guess if we're doing that by the rules, then we're only paying $48.60, 50% of that.
50% of that total, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you're seeking clarification on? Like a new, do we need a new approval from council? Not to exceed that amount?
Yeah, just checking, and if you are okay with whatever figures you give me, can I give them a check tomorrow for it? So, it's kind of a tool, two-part.
So in other words, based on what was actually spent, the amount council should approve not to exceed is $48.60.
Yes.
Correct.
Didn't we already vote and approve a certain
Yes.
amount?
Yes, you did, on July 22nd.
And at that time, it was gonna be 6,000?
That was the amount requested at that time.
But they came in under their number. Our maximum match is supposed to be 50%.
Right, so we just give it to
So we
them,
just give them the,
because we've already approved up to 6,000.
yeah, we can
So
give
it's
them
a-
the 4860, but
Yeah.
since 50% of what they spent, yeah. It's just less than what their original ask was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know if you really need a motion for that, which is just a.
Because we've already approved 6,000.
Which is more than that, so just
comes
don't
underneath-
exceed, we just need a consensus not to exceed the
48.
48.60, correct? Okay. Do we have a consensus not to exceed 48.60?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then, and then regarding gates, let me pull that one up.
I have all kinds of questions about this one. Like the
Especially the handwritten page.
yeah, the handwritten page, is that actually being part of this submission?
Because here's the facade work, doors and windows,
That's the original.
and then as you turn the page, you've got
Carpet chairs, sinks,
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yes.
I mean,
ceiling fans, track lighting.
I'm wondering if anything on this list is exterior. Well, the keypads for the doors and outdoor floodlights.
Floodlights, yeah. That's
I
about it.
think you're looking at their shopping list of what they had to get to finish it. They submitted the proposal, the quotes. They had the work done, they paid for it. Amy requested proof of payment, and I think some of it was paid in cash, I think some of it was paid with a check. So they were just trying to produce the additional documentation to get this thing across the finish line. I think that's what we're looking at. I think we have to go back to the original presentation. They did doors and more windows and.
Facade work, it says.
Install wrap.
So, but I think they've included somehow in their presentation back to the city, I think they've included kind of like their shopping list of things that they needed to do to turn it into a barber shop.
And so we approved that back in February. Originally.
We approved.
For 10,000.
Yeah, we
10,000.
approved 10. Or we approved 20 and our 10. But I'm not sure that on what they've actually spent on the actual facade comes up to that. If I calculated it right, it's 15,640 is what they've actually spent on the facade.
And that could be, I mean, I would pay half of that if that's what you guys decide. It's ultimately your choice.
I mean, that's, yeah, I think you're correct. Yeah. I don't have the figure, haven't added it up.
It was a 15 on here.
15,640. But that does not include anything off of the handwritten page. And the only two questionable reports there are the 10 outdoor floodlights and the keypads. So, and there's no prices for those, so we don't know what those individually would have done. So,
What I would propose is that you pay that 50%, and if they produce additional documentation that they're able, I mean, they've been working on this for almost 8 months, so
Okay.
then
It was a
we can
78.
amend it.
If they have something else that they've done, then there's nothing stopping us from approving additional based on this.
right, right.
Yeah.
So do we have a set amount that you see that's documented support for
7820
7820? So do we have a motion for 7820?
consensus?
Yeah, because you approved 10, it's the same scenario as the last one.
Right.
So, or not motion, I'm sorry, but yeah, do we have a consensus for?
Yes.
Okay, so 7820, Amy, which would be less than what was originally approved. Thank you for helping sort through that. Replacement mower proposal. You guys should have that also as part of your packet. And that looks to be, it's recommended by the Board of Works. So, and it's made up to, we need to confirm if it's for street or wastewater department.
Wastewater.
It's for wastewater, okay, good, you're in agreement.
The reason they're both on there is we talked at the Board of Works about doing more than one if there was a better price if we did
Yeah.
a couple
Oh, I see.
at one time, and there is not.
There's not,
Okay.
this was the municipal discount that's as deep as it gets. And
Gotcha.
even they had various conversations about that, and this was basically the best deal.
That's the
Okay.
best price.
Yeah.
Was the other one shot?
Every one that we have is shot.
They are, I do think that they wanted to keep, that Brad, I think, was gonna keep
Yeah, they're
the old
going
unit for some, I mean, it's still
Correct.
functioning, but
correct. I think they're going to use it till it quits working, but.
For
it'll
small,
be
some small
transferred to
stuff.
the park where it's not so
Yeah,
rough.
it'll go to the park.
Okay. Okay.
It also won't be mowed every day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Get the last use out of that machine.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, council, do you have questions or comments?
So what budget is this coming out of?
it'll come out of wastewater, I believe. The wastewater plant is the worst area that we have to mow with the basins and everything. And the mowers just take a beating out there.
I would entertain a motion for approval if there are no other questions.
I'll approve that we approve the request for the purchase of a new country clipper mower for $12,957.24.
We have a first from Tim. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gary with a second. Okay, we'll take roll call vote. Gary Elliott,
Yes.
Bob Leahy,
Yes.
Jason Brewer,
Yes.
Tim High,
Yes.
Tito Freeze.
Yes.
All right, do we have visitors wishing to address the board? If so, please stand, state your name, and address the nature of your business.
I just have a question.
Yes.
Last time we were here, there was a new business. There was a daycare and utilities.
Yes.
I don't see it on here.
Yeah, we don't have the approved thing from our attorney yet.
Gotcha.
Good question, though.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Quick
Got it.
question, are you buying that more locally?
It's
Winchester.
Winchester.
Coming from Winchester.
It's in the county, but, yeah. So,
That's
Does it matter, their bid was better than our local people?
I think it was a question, it was a question of bid plus the particular equipment. I can't remember do you remember what the discussion was on, Steve, on the particulars on equipment?
Serviceability and getting the deck on and
Yeah.
off. The country clipper has a deck that rolls up in
Yeah.
front of the mowers that's serviceable, where the Dixie chopper, we have to move it out from underneath.
Right.
And
I just wanna make sure.
a good
that-
question, yeah.
that the city is,
Yeah.
I believe the country
buying
clipper
locally as
price
much
was
as
a little bit
possible.
cheaper.
Yeah, I think,
than
and I
Dixie.
say the country clipper price was a little bit better
Yeah.
too, so we did,
Good.
that's all I,
and we,
Uh,
at
at
least,
least
that-
it's in the county.
That question should always be asked.
Yeah.
yes.
Anybody else wishing to address the council? Yes, please state your
My
name.
name's Jean Collins. I live at 336 South Columbia Street. And I had called the officers down to my home because my wonderful neighbors were throwing their trash on my sidewalk. And the officers told me in front of them that I did not own the sidewalk, which I do know. I'm not stupid. But I am responsible for if you get hurt on my sidewalk. I have to carry house insurance for the idiots that live next door if they get hurt on my sidewalk on their trash. And the officers just told them I didn't own the sidewalk. So what do you think that has been since then? Yes, it has been pure hell. What do we do?
I will get with Mark, and because I would like to know why they were allowed to litter.
Hey, I asked that same question. And again, I was told I did not own the sidewalk. And I was called everything but a white woman in front of the officers, and that was not stopped. And I did not rebut. I kept my cool, and trust me, God helped me through every step of it. And you were also, on a second subject, you were talking about streetlights. Our street light on South Columbia Street in our block is pitch black. It's not out, it's just non-existent. And you can ask any of your officers. If they have to go to 340 or across the street, you can't see a thing except for my lights. You guys aren't helping me pay bills. help one
has
bit.
been out. Well, it's been out. That's why I
Right,
just gave
but,
Kevin
and it's
a
out
phone
most
number
of the
on it.
time
And
because of
yeah, your end down
shenanigans.
there is
Is
dark.
that a good word?
yeah.
Well, it's the best word I've got with God holding my hand.
So what other sites would be ideal to have lights installed if we can get O&M to?
So that's a clean installment, like there isn't
Yeah.
a
The
light
way I understand it,
fixture.
even if that light was working, it's still dark.
Come
What-
to my house right when you get out of this building and just think that if my solar lights weren't on, what you could not see.
So east side of the street on your block,
East or
Yeah,
west,
east or
it's
west,
black.
either one. And
Is it not,
probably-
Susan?
we'll
I mean,
probably
she goes down that street every day.
now is there, besides right there, is there another section that should be identified or could be easily identified as being too dark? Because we had one added a couple years ago. I remember we added one or two down Division area somewhere, I remember. Because that's what they're there for. They're for
I would
to enhance safety.
It's more up Tim's way,
So
in front
You
of
mean-
Wise's old house.
well, see that one, and that one's out. There's one there, but it's out. It was
Okay,
when
you
it was
take
on.
that
it was
one
great.
out and you take this one out. What's my street look like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just
And
that's
I know
just
I
like
don't own the street either.
it's just like you said, when one goes out
yeah,
in those
that's what we're
neighborhoods,
just
it
talking
gets
about.
really dark.
Right.
And so I see there. So I can't. I should know better, but there isn't one down by Vine or anything, is there? Is there not a
One
light
on
at
the
all down
corner
there?
of Vine and Columbia, but it's usually out by
Okay.
shenanigans. And that's not your fault. And-
Well, but we
what
need-
do we do
we've gotta
with the
report and get-
shenanigans?
Yeah.
The one on Maple Street's,
There is. Okay.
it's good, yeah.
It's good.
down there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can walk from my house to her house and do that more than once. And it's pitch black till I get to almost her house.
Right. Yeah.
That's not good.
I've already reported the 200, 300, and 400 blocks of South Columbia to AP, so. they'll
Thank
take care
you.
of it.
Okay.
But
So
if
I'll
I
follow
don't
up with
tell
that
you,
on- with
then
Tyler.
shame on me.
Well, and one of the things when I right before council meeting, I went and got the phone number off the one there at the alley south of South Street, and that's a fairly new modern LED light. So one of the
Who
first
lives on
things
that corner?
so
Just asking.
that was one of the first things that popped into my head was is this a natural occurrence or is this vandalism? So that I asked myself when I looked at that. I don't know about this. So
I'm pretty sure I do.
you know.
Well, I'll get with Mark on that. So, do you know, and if you don't, that's fine, but do you know the address of the place next to you that is the source of the?
340.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. All right, date of the next council meeting will be the first Monday in November. I just need to pull up the cover sheet, so I've got to come over here. It'll be November 11th at 6 p.m. And the day of the Board of Works meeting will be also Monday, November 11th at 1:45 p.m. I would hereby entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We have first by second.
Second.
First by second. First by Tito, second by Jason. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Holy smokes.